What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's over, okay? And we're going to go into this week prepared because we have a great story on tonight. And I'm not going to say that it's going to be the best week ever, but we did get an extra hour, so it could be, I don't know if anybody looks outside and you're like, what the hell is going on? It's still light outside. This thing's funny. And it's funny because it happens every year, but everybody's like, what the hell's going on? I'm all messed up. All right, I'm going to read the Hope Shot Clarity Statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common. Recovery is a lifestyle. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there, and thank you for being a part of our family. All right. What's up, Christina? How's that cup?
Run us over. That's good.
How was your weekend, Christina?
My weekend was good. I did a 5K yesterday, and I came in first place for the women's walkers, but I did run. I just walked second lap. I came in first place for the walkers, and I was able to be of service to our community and raise some money. And then today, I did a big purge at the house, so I'm feeling good. Like every time you just get rid of some crap, it feels good. Oh, and I found my tooth.
Toofy was MIA. And
listen, when I tell you my spirit was broken today, I was so upset with myself. Like, how do I let something like this happen? But then I found it. So
all is well.
I know. It was so emotional.
Well. All right. Well, let's say what's up. We got if you guys just jumping on and say what's up, let us know you're here. Just say hi. Just say hi. That's all I want. It's not too much to ask for, right? All right. We got Lindsay. What's up, Lindsay? And we got Rachel. Hey there, Hope Shop family. So excited tonight's guest on the podcast. Share it. All right. Yeah. If you're watching, just share it. If you don't want to say hi, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you to say hi, but hit the share button. Somebody needs to hear this story. You want to go ahead and introduce our lovely guest?
I would love to. So this guy, I get to spend a lot of time with him. He does service work. He just celebrated 4 years. He's definitely an example of somebody that has worked a 12-step program. And like I've just watched like him grow over the past couple of years, and I can't even describe how proud I am of him and how grateful I am to like be a part of his life and his journey. And with that, I will introduce Josh Reinhardt.
Oh, we're not supposed to put the last names out there, girl.
Sorry. I got my last name up there.
What the hell is going on? There we go. All right, we're going to put him on the big screen. What's up, Josh? Can you hear us? Josh?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? No? Nope.
I'm talking to you.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear us?
I can't hear you.
No, you can't or can?
I don't know. I can't hear you.
Sign out and sign back in.
I can't hear you.
Sign out, sign back in.
No. No.
Oh, it's
put your phone on. You have to sign out, sign back in.
He can't hear us.
I'm texting him.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, it just keeps repeating.
I cannot.
I texted you.
I can hear myself asking him.
Shit.
I'm gonna kick him out and he's gonna come back in. All right.
Back in.
Okay.
Kick.
There's like a delay.
There we go. I know. All right. We're brief moment. We have technical difficulties. I told him that if you're on your phone, you have to put on do not disturb. Or if somebody calls you while you're on there, it will mess everything up. So just throw it out there. Anybody ever wants to be a podcast guest, just remember that. I'm going to put a disclaimer. I should have probably did that. All right. Just waiting for Josh. right, let's see if there's a couple more people. We got Matt. What's up, Matt? Oh, there he is. And we're gonna say what's up to Brittany. What's up, Brittany and Katie? Good to see you. Let's go, Josh.
All right,
Can you-
I can hear you all again. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
good.
We're back,
Yes.
baby.
Woo! Sorry,
Woo!
my bad. Technical difficulties.
It's okay. All right. All right, Josh, man. Hey, man, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here to share your story, man. The floor is yours.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm truly honored. My name is Josh and I am an addict. My clean date is January 25th, 2022. I started off pretty normal growing up, except I always didn't feel like I was a part of. Like there was always something missing. I always felt like I was left out and like I couldn't fit in. And I didn't understand why and I didn't know what that was about or anything. So I sought validation in all kinds of different ways. I tried to fit in with every single group that I could think of. And it felt almost fake and like almost like a chameleon. Like I was just trying to fit in so bad. I got molested when I was little, and for the longest time, I felt like that was the reason why I was gay, which is silly to me now. But for the longest time, I had so much shame and guilt with that that I didn't know how to deal with or process that. But it was the first sign of my addiction. Like after working some steps and taking some looks at myself, I realized that like that was the first sign of like making my life unmanageable for something that I wanted. Like I was willing to do anything in order to get those comic books, and um, I suffered for it, but it is what it is. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. So, like, moving on past all of that, I joined the military, which was probably the greatest decision that I ever made. I joined the Air Force and got stationed over in Turkey. And in the military, drinking is a way of life. So, once again, I'm just trying to fit in by using alcohol to try and be a part of and actually fit in with the guys in the military. Um, I was drinking so much that I didn't even realize like it was a problem, but everyone else was. So it seemed like it was okay because of that. Um, After I was stationed in Turkey, then I got stationed in Las Vegas, and that's where I really kind of discovered a lot more party drugs and things of that nature. It was really easy to find all of that stuff due to like my lifestyle and trying to fit in and going to the clubs, and uh, it just seemed like that was the thing to do. So I started experimenting with that, and my decision making skills just plummeted. Like I started making such stupid decisions. Like looking back, I feel so dumb. But it is what it is. It's uh one of the things I did, like I thought it would be a great idea to take a work vehicle off of base. Like I just took a truck and decided to drive to downtown Las Vegas, and I'm on the strip, which and everything was great until it wasn't, and somebody sideswiped me. And then again, my thought process is I'm gonna run away because that's how I dealt with all of my problems and all of my issues. I was a big fan of just sticking my head in the sand and ignoring things until they went away. Um, but that didn't go away. So I ran from the accident with the truck and then thought, you know what? I'm just going to park this back on base and nobody will ever know. They 100% knew. And I got in trouble for that. So that was like the start of me making poor decisions and getting into trouble with the military. Um, I decided that I was going to go on leave for Thanksgiving, and everything was approved and a-okay until I left the base. And I don't know what happened, but somehow in there, my leave got disapproved, and suddenly I was AWOL from the Air Force. And when I figured that out, like 3 days later, my whole world just kind of imploded. I felt like everything that I had worked for was going down the drains. And it took me to a very, very dark place, and I didn't know what else to do, and I didn't see any other way out. So I decided to try and end my life. Obviously, that didn't work, which I'm super grateful for, but I was in that very dark place of there was no other option but not to wake up. So when I did wake up, I called my first sergeant, and she came and met me and took me to the base. And I ended up getting put into the psych ward for about 5 to 6 months, I think it was. And that was the end of my military career. Um, they diagnosed me with major depression and anxiety, part of which was super helpful. Because like I didn't even realize that anxiety was the thing that was keeping me up every night, with my thoughts racing and racing and racing and just thinking of every single possible situation. So they put me on anti-anxiety meds, and that actually helped slow that down. um I got out of the military and decided I was going to stay in Vegas, and that was great for a while. I got into a relationship, and then when that started going south, I noticed that I started using again. I have a big thing with using in order to not feel negative emotions, or not deal with negative emotions, I guess is a better way to say that. Um, so I would rather just numb it and not deal with it, but that's not helpful because you end up numbing all of the positive emotions too. So I was using there, and then we broke up, and I decided to move to Florida. Came to Florida, and that's where my active addiction really took off. I was using, trying to avoid any of the pain and negative emotions associated with that situation, and I ended up driving for my dealer because you get free drugs that way. So I thought that was a great idea. So by day, I'm working at American Eagle, and at nighttime, I'm driving for my dealer. And that's how I lived for a good 6 months or so, lying to everybody, thinking that nobody knew I was using, which could have been true, and but I don't know. And then my dealer got arrested, and when he got arrested, all of his customers kept uh, calling me and wanting to know what to do or how to get their stuff. And so I called his plug, and he's like, "What do you do?" I was like, "I don't know what to do." And he's like, "What do you think you do? Go make money." So that's how I became a drug dealer. And that genuinely was like, I thought I had made it. I thought everything was exactly the way it's supposed to be. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Everybody wanted me around. Everybody had my number. I felt like the most popular kid in Orlando. Like I was at all the parties. Everybody needed me. I had money. Like it just was awesome until it wasn't. And I didn't even realize how bad it was, and the things that I was losing. So, um, the first time I got arrested, I was coming back from New Orleans with my best friend, and he was doing 95 and a 70, and we got pulled over, and we had some things in the trunk that we shouldn't have had, but uh, the police did a search on the vehicle and found everything, and I ended up going to jail. And you would think that would be like a wake up call, but I treated jail in Santa Rosa County as like summer camp. Like I got a job in the kitchen so I could communicate with my friend because he was on diet trays. I got tattoos in jail. I gave tattoos in jail. We were doing more drugs in jail. Smoking cigarettes in the walk-in in the kitchen. Um, just not taking anything seriously whatsoever. And like saying this out loud right now just makes me feel so dumb for like not taking any of that stuff seriously. Like I genuinely should have, but I just didn't. I don't know what was going on with me. Um, I just wasn't ready to change. I guess I hadn't reached enough of a rock bottom. So when I got out, the first thing I did was I walked like 6 miles to one of my friend's house and immediately got high and had no idea what I was going to do. I had lost my car, I had lost my house, I had lost my jobs. Like I had nothing but the stuff that I got released from jail with. And so at my phone, I called my plug slash father figure. He came and picked me up and took me to his hotel. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I lost everything. He's like, what are you talking about? You know exactly what to do. Dropped some stuff in my lap and said, go make some money. So within a week, I was right back where I started, doing the same old things. Only this time, because I'd lost everything, I was living out of hotels. And I was so bad that I didn't even realize that I was homeless. Like I thought, like, what are you talking? I was better than these people that are out on the streets, like sleeping in the woods and stuff like that. I wasn't better. I was just as bad. I just happened to be in a hotel. I also was taking care of all of these people that I thought were like my ride or dies, and these people that were there for me and like loved me and cared about me. So I had to care about them, and like I was getting hotel rooms for them, making sure everybody was taken care of with all the things that they needed. Um, and just overall, like I felt like I was the drug dealer that cared because I wanted to make sure everybody was okay. I also prided myself on being on time, and like making money is another huge part of my addiction. Like I would stop everything just to go and make some money. Like it didn't matter what I was in the middle of doing. If my phone rang, I would stop and I would go and make that money. Um, so that lasted for another year and a half, and it was it just I surrendered and accepted that that was going to be my lifestyle. I was going to be a drug addict for the rest of my life, and that was the only thing that I knew. And my life felt like it was okay until it wasn't, and I was miserable. And I didn't even really realize I was miserable. I just knew that things weren't where I thought they should be. I hated my phone more than anything on the face of the planet. I hated being around people, so I was trying to like isolate, but that's really difficult to do when your entire profession revolves around being around other people and making money. So um I just remember vividly it was Christmas Day, and I was in a hotel on iDrive in Orlando by myself, and I just didn't want that life anymore. My problem was I didn't know how to get out of it. I just felt trapped, and like this was going to be it, and there was no getting out, and this was just how it was going to be. Fast forward to one of my friends hitting me up, telling me that he had a guy that needed some stuff, but I had the weight and he didn't. I was like, well, I trust you. So I met this guy on Thenona Road, and everything was fine. Did it two more times. And on the third time, I can again vividly remember him going, wow, your stuff is always so great. And I'm like, I know, right? And then boom, 30 automatic weapons all in my face, screaming at me to get on the ground. And I know my first reaction was like, this is a bit much. Like, I'm not that guy that you need all of this weapons for, but like, okay. So I'm on the ground, and like I just know that everything is coming to a head. And I can again vividly remember sitting in that passenger seat of the SUV that they picked me up in, because like they had been obviously watching me for a hot minute. It wasn't even a cop car, like I was in an SUV. And I just remember driving to jail and going like, okay, like this is it. And I got to jail and I slept for a week, and just finally surrendered that I was going to prison, and that was going to be it. Like there was no getting out of this. Like I knew that everything was against me. They had audio recording, they had video recording, they had all of the text messages, everything. And I was going to prison for a decent amount of time. Um, and I remember the relief that I felt in that moment of just like, I don't have to like worry about anybody else anymore. I don't have to do this anymore. I can finally breathe. That was the first time that I can vividly recall surrendering. It was crazy. So I'm in jail, and they asked me. I was sleeping on a boat in general population, and they called me up to the front desk, and they were like, front desk like I'm at a hotel. What am I saying? um, they called me up to like the officer's desk and were like, "Hey, do you want to come to the veterans pod?" And I was like, "What is that?" And the guy standing there is like, "It's not a hard question. You either do or you don't." And I'm looking around at the chaos and like everything that was happening in general population. I was like, well, it can't be worse than this. Like, why not? So I go to the veterans pod, and I remember walking through the Sallyport doors, and it was like pristine. Like everything was clean. Everybody's beds were made. If there could have been music playing, it would have been like some classical music playing in the background. Like people are reading. Like it's so chill in there. There's murals on the wall of every single branch of the military. And I was like, well, all right, like this is cool. Like, and they had a life skills class every day. So I had to get up and go to that. And they had different perks of being in the veterans pod. Like there was an art class that would come in, so we got to finger paint in there. How many people can say they finger painted in jail with like actual paint? Like that's crazy. Um, and there was a VA liaison that would come in every 2 weeks, and she would try and help the other veterans get like their DD 214s, which is like the paperwork for when they discharge from the military. And she would also vet people for Veterans Treatment Court. And every single person in there told me that I would never get into Veterans Treatment Court with trafficking charges. So instead, I just bided my time, um, and I participated in the programs that they had in Hillsborough County Jail. I became certified in ASC automotive. I got a certified welding certificate. I took the hair braiding course in there twice. Um, it was great. We got fried chicken at the end, and I got to hang out with girls on Saturday. So like I was in heaven. But I kept doing all of these things while I was waiting, and then I got accepted into Veterans Treatment Court through um, a lot of fighting on other people's parts. Like they fought for me. Miss Erica Lucas, the VA liaison, saw something in me. I don't know, but she wanted me to succeed. So I firmly believe that she is the reason I got into Veterans Treatment Court. And they ended up releasing me from jail and bringing me to Newport Richey to a sober living home. And I have never in my life participated in any kind of rehab or transitional housing or anything. So, like, my entire knowledge base of that comes from movies and TV shows. I genuinely thought I was coming into like a 28 days, like Sandra Bullock kind of a thing. It was not like that in any capacity. I came to a veteran sober living program, and the very first person that I met was this old Vietnam vet named Jerry, who is still around the rooms today, and I love him very much. He was the first person that was nice to me. He used to give me money to go and get us both a pack of cigarettes from the store, and we would sit on the front porch, and he would tell me all of his war stories about Vietnam and back when he was a pimp and like all these great things, and it made me feel like I was safe and like I was in a good place, which is exactly what I needed because I was terrified. In that sober living, I had to go to 2 meetings a day, either NA or the other fellowship. And my very first meeting was the other fellowship, and it was a 7 a.m. meeting. And I remember walking in there. I'm not a morning person at all. So already, like, there's a strike against it because it's 7 a.m. But I'm in there, and everyone is so chipper and cheery and like smiling and hugging each other. And they're just so happy. I was like, what is in that coffee? I need to stay away from that coffee because like something is up here. And I remember like my leg was bouncing like a mile a minute because like my anxiety was through the roof. And this sweet older lady, Rosie, like put her hand on my knee and was like, "It's gonna be okay. We got you." And I genuinely believed her with as much like apprehension as I had with that entire room. I believed what she said, and I felt like I was okay. They gave me a meeting list, and I continue to go back there. So that definitely planted the seed for me. And I continue to go there every morning at 7 a.m., mostly to get my paper signed. But there was a life skills class that this sober living had, and I had to deal with that. And once I completed that, I started working on my community service hours. And once I finished those, the sober living that I was at actually offered me a job. Um and I couldn't believe it. So now I'm actually a case manager at that sober living, and I can't even begin to explain how much joy I get with my job. Um Things have come so full circle with everything. I started going to NA meetings, and I finally heard someone else like speak about the things that I was feeling, and I felt like I was home. I felt like that was my place, and I felt like I finally fit in. It was amazing to me, like the camaraderie that comes with being a veteran at this sober living, and then the family bond that I get out of the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. Like it was everything that I'd been searching for what felt like my entire life. Which sounds kind of silly, but I don't know. It definitely was. So they offered me the job. I started working at that sober living. I was able to complete my community service hours, complete that whole program, and then Veterans Treatment Court. I actually graduated from, and they wiped all of my charges. So now I've got like a whole clean slate. Everything seems to be falling into place for me, and my job is booming, and I become like the liaison between Veterans Treatment Court and that sober living. So now I get to go to jail and pick up guys, the same jail that I got released from, pick up new guys, bring them back to our sober living, do their whole intake, and be a part of their story and watch as like the light comes on. They come in broken and busted, and within like 3 to 6 months, they're leaving, and they've gotten reconnected with the VA. They're moving into their own housing, and it's like night and day with them. And knowing that I had just the tiniest bit to do with that is amazing. Like I can't begin to describe that. Um so I end up moving out of the sober living. I got a townhouse downtown. I got a great roommate. Like things are just falling into place left and right. I got my VA liaison actually referred me to another nonprofit program that helped me to get a car, which I use constantly. It is amazing. Um, and everything has just fallen into place as far as that goes. For recovery, um, it's crazy to me. Like the first year of my recovery, I don't even I feel bad counting it, honestly, because it was more like abstinence. I didn't have a sponsor. The only thing I had was a home group, and my service commitment there was folding meeting lists. Like that was it. So um I remember my first celebration, I was terrified, and I shared it with another member of Narcotics Anonymous, and like he was a very big personality in our area, so like I felt very intimidated. And I know like my first time I was just like, "Blah, I use," and now I don't. But it was cool. And then one of my coworkers started asking me, "Do you have a sponsor?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, how do you tell these guys that they need to work a program if you don't have a sponsor yourself? Like, what are you doing?" So every day this man asked me if I had a sponsor. "Do you have a sponsor yet?" "No." "Do you have a sponsor yet?" "No." Finally, like out of sheer spite, somebody asked me to do something with my home group, and I was like, "Yes, I'll do that, but will you be my sponsor?" And they were like, "Yes." And I felt like finally, like I can. He asked me the next day, "Do you have a sponsor?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." Oh my gosh, it was crazy. And that sponsor was very integral in my story, 100%. They helped me become part of service. Like I said, I became the treasurer of our home group, and that was great for a while, and then eventually became the GSR of my home group. and that was awesome. And this sponsor, 100%, I give them full credit for my service work love. Um, but I did find myself kind of plateauing with them. So through noticing that and paying attention to other people sharing in meetings and finding myself drawn to other people, I decided to change sponsors, and it's probably the best decision I've made thus far in my recovery. Um, I got a new sponsor. Ended up working all 12 steps, and he gets me. Like he knows exactly what to say to calm me down or to boost me up or to uh give me a little bit of drive to start working my step work again. I completed all 12 steps and I'm working the traditions now. um I love my home group. It drives me insane a lot, but at the end of the day, like, it's my home. um I'm of service. I My sponsor has a sponsor who has a sponsor who has a sponsor, like, and it's crazy to me, like, the sponsorship family that I have is probably like the sponsorship family I've always wanted to, because like we do things together. There's a retreat coming up that I'm super excited to go on. And I can remember in the beginning of my recovery seeing like all the posts about the retreats and things, and like wishing I could be a part of. Like, I remember feeling so left out of that. Even with my first sponsor, I wasn't in the sponsorship family, so I was still kind of left out, and I was like, wow, this sucks. Like, I want to go too, but now I actually get to be a part of it and I love it so much. My service work has grown so much. I'm a member of HNI, so I get to bring the message into hospitals and institutions, and that is an unmatched feeling. I love doing that. I'm actually the secretary of HNI, so I deal with all the minutes and stuff there, and I love being of service. I love helping the next addict. You know what I mean? I love seeing someone get like just a glimmer of hope from something that anyone has said. I love seeing that in general. And it's even better when it's me, but it doesn't always have to be me. It can be from anyone. It can be from a newcomer. And that's amazing. I love seeing that. Um, I also have grown and become the RCM2 of our area. So I get to experience Region, which is an amazing opportunity of service. Like, Narcotics Anonymous is so much bigger than I ever dreamed it could be. Um, and the best part of that is when I was in my active addiction, I isolated. I didn't want my family to see me using, so I stayed away from them. And I thought that I was saving them, and I didn't realize that I was actually robbing them of time with me. Um, and I didn't get that until after I got out of jail and after I'd been in the sober living for a while, because I was still really angry with them. Like, I found out that they knew I was in jail, and I mean, I didn't get any packs or phone calls or anything like that, which is fine. And that is 100% what I needed. And today I can be grateful for that. But in that moment, I was so mad and felt so left out from all the people that I cared about, all those people that I was taking care of that were my ride or dies. Like, none of them gave a crap about me. Like, they were all doing for themselves, which is fine. And today I can accept that and know that they were sicker. But even my family weren't there for me, but I hadn't been there for them, so why would they be? My parents live in Orlando, and through Region and working on myself and growing, I've been able to kind of rebuild a relationship with them, which is great because I found out that while I was in jail, my mother got diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So she can't really remember too much. It's short-term memory that she struggles with. Like, she knows who I am. Um, but getting to I leave early for Region, and I will go the night before and stay the night at my parents', and I actually get to like rebuild a connection with them, and it's amazing. It sucks at times because I realize all the things that I've missed out on, and all the things that they've missed out on with me due to my own actions, but I can't dwell on that. All I can do is try and rebuild and make things better from here on out. And I feel like we're all collectively doing that together. And I think that we are all kind of aware of that due to my mother's diagnosis. So it's nice that there's not a lot of friction there. Um, Through working the steps, like I've even made amends with them. And like the amends with my parents was probably the best amends that I've ever had. Um, I remember telling them how sorry I was and explaining my side of things to a degree, and they both, my mom completely coherent, both of them told me that if they had to go through all of that bullshit that I put them through in order to get this version of Josh that they have today, they would do it again in a heartbeat. And like that, uh, it gets me every time. And that is one of those things that like 100% keeps me going with my recovery. um I love that they get to be proud of me today. It's it's a great feeling, and I don't think that I've really felt that from them since I joined the military. I think that was, like, the last time that they were really, like, super proud of me, because I hadn't given them anything to be proud of, you know what I mean? I was making stupid decisions, and I was just goofing off and throwing my life away, but today is a whole different story, and it's just for today, right? So, rebuilding those relationships, um and I attribute all of that to Narcotics Anonymous. Like, I would not have that without Narcotics Anonymous teaching me and showing me, like, even just little things like all the all the kids in the area love me. Like, they all know Uncle Josh, and they all know, like, I'm just a big kid, and they all come to me, and, like, every single one of them teaches me something different, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, how to be a better uncle to my actual, like, blood nieces. Like, I had a niece that I hadn't even met, um, due to being in jail, and, like, my brothers and my relationship being rocky, and coming into the rooms and, like, having people trust me with their children, and like their kids love me the way that they love me, and allowing me to like be present in their lives taught me how to be present in my niece's lives. And I'm just so grateful for that. Like, I get to be there for them, not as much as I could be if I lived in Orlando, but like they still know who I am, and they get excited when they know I'm coming. And that's a great feeling, being able to mend those relationships. And that's all because of Narcotics Anonymous. Like, there's so many facets that happen inside of those rooms that people don't even know about, because everybody thinks it's just a 12-step program. And it is. It is 100% a 12-step program, but so many other magical things happen inside those rooms. Like, the bonds that I have formed with people are completely unmatched. Like, I thought I had ride or dies before, but like today, like I have people that would burn this whole world down just for me. And like, that is an amazing feeling in itself. Like, knowing that I have people that have my back 100%, and that I have their back 100%. Like, it goes both ways. And I've built this family out of people that, like, I feel bad for anyone that would like try to mess with us, because like we are an army that will, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. People just don't realize what they got. And I'm so grateful for all of the relationships that I have here in Narcotics Anonymous, and that I'm growing with Narcotics Anonymous, because like I said, I go to region, so I get to meet people from all different areas. And that is a great thing too. Like, I'm just building this network of people, and like the more people I meet, the safer I am from my addiction, because like if somebody can't answer, somebody else can. And I have so many people on my phone today that I can call and get answers from, and just vent about anything too. Like, it is an amazing feeling. I've searched so long to feel a part of, and like today I can genuinely say that I am a part of. Um, it's a great feeling. Um, So yeah, I'm of service, and I've worked all 12 steps. Um, I don't really know what else I got to say. I feel like that's it though.
All right.
That was
Hey,
awesome.
that was great, Josh. That was perfect. That was
Okay, cool.
yeah. Man, you hit on so many good points, and especially at the end, man, like the gifts we get,
Right.
the gifts we get in recovery, and that hit me when you talked about your parents, because that's the juice right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something we search for our whole lives. You know what I mean? Is that one thing, that relationship with them, and just for them to, I don't know, man. It's like we need that. We need
Yeah.
that. We need that. I don't know, just acceptance part from our parents. We've always yearned for that. I mean, I know I have my whole life, just yearned for acceptance, and especially from the people that raised me, and that I've been around my whole life. So, um, yeah, that hit, man. That hit really good. Christina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I I could relate to so much in your story, and it's just so crazy when you talk about that magic of the fellowship, right? And it's like, even I talk about this all the time when I go to the groups, like the treatment centers, and I talk, and you got all these people that are just new in recovery, and they have all these boxes they need to check, right? And they're just like, I got to do this, and I just want to tell them, listen, you just need to sit down, right? And
Oof.
you need to trust the process. Well, how am I going to do this, and how am I going to do that? And I want to tell them, like, it's magic. You're just never gonna believe it. You just
Oh my
aren't gonna
God.
believe how the things are gonna work out in your life. You just have to just, you know what I mean? How do you make somebody explain, like, the miracle that happens once you just start doing the next right thing, and being a part of this fellowship, and being of service, and trusting your higher power, like all these things, like you can't even explain it, but we know, we've seen it. We've seen it in our lives, we've watched it in other people's lives, and we just know if these people just take these suggestions, it's gonna. And I get so excited, because it's like, you really, because they're looking at you like, huh, like they can't even fathom it, right? And you're just like, no, just sit tight, right? And I love that, like how everything just comes around full circle, like the things that we, like the desires of our heart, right? Like deep down, the desires of our heart, how they come to fruition, but like in a different way, right? So we to have these qualities that get us through this lifestyle, right? And these survivor skills, when we're able to like flip it and do it in a positive way, like and being of service, right? Being of service, so it's like selfless, it's not self-seeking, and how we can kind of get that same desire met, right? But in a different way, and it's so crazy. I love before and afters. I love listening to people's story. We're all so much alike, but we're so different. We all have the same story, the same feelings, the same emotions. And sometimes I forget, like I'll meet somebody in the fellowship, and they'll be like, oh, my dad committed suicide, and I'm like, oh my God, like like no wonder you're here. It's like
Oh
sometimes I
my
forget
god.
No
sometimes I
wonder you're
forget that
here.
the reason that a lot of us make it to these rooms is because we've been through some really traumatic stuff, right? Like we've had some shit happen to us. Um, and we've come together, and our addiction kind of led to us just trying to get through some shit, whatever that looked like, right? And
Hmm.
but I love you, Josh. Like I get to do service with you. Like you give 110% when it comes to service. You're always so positive, and you're an uplifter, right? You just lift people around you up, right? Especially the women. You really do. Um you have a way of, I mean, you have a way of really like making women feel like seen and heard, and just like, like they should be proud of themselves, like especially if we're jamming a nice outfit, you're like, oh girl, you look like you're looking good. I always love like coming out. I do remember that was like one of the first times that I really like got to know you was at a Frickna event, right? When I was all dressed up, and you just made me feel like I was the only person in the room, But you just and you don't just do that for me, you do that for all, the people. You're always there, right? If anybody needs you, anybody can call you. Like even the Hope Shop participants, like when we get a guy, when we need to connect them with somebody that's really gonna like walk with them and help them, you're like the first person that we recommend. And you always answer your phone, so thank you for coming on and sharing your story, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like it's an honor. Like I can genuinely remember like first coming around and seeing the Hope Shot stuff and I'm like one day I want to be on the Hope Shot. And like here I am. Like this is awesome. Like everything comes full circle. It's so cool.
You know, what's even cooler is that we all get to do this together and we get to make our community better, you know,
Right?
and it's cool because we can call on each other and we can come together when it comes to a client or a person or somebody that needs help. And we do it with such, you know, just such, passion, you know.
Hmm.
That's one thing that I really enjoy, like especially like when in our people, you talked about the people, the ride or dies, the true ride or dies. Like I didn't experience true friendship till I figured out what recovery was really about. And in that, it helped me to break down those walls that I kept up because I didn't trust not a damn nutter. But most of the time it's because I didn't trust this guy, you know what I
Right?
mean, because I was doing the dirt too. And I
Absolutely.
attract what I am, and when I'm attracting what's out there, and it's just all garbage because I am what I have around me,
Right?
and in that, like we attract the goodness, and these people that we have around us is just so good and pure, and like at any beck and call we can just drop it. You know, how many times have
Hmm.
we seen in recovery people step up for certain people and just do just service, you know, and
Absolutely.
it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. And I wish we can give this to every single person because I feel like right now, especially right now, we need it more than ever, you know?
Right?
And
Yeah.
and it's crazy because I talk to people they're going through the same stuff that I was going through. I'm like, man, I wish you could just have a taste of this. You know?
Right? I mean, it's crazy because I remember like struggling so hard to trust anybody and believe what everyone that came before me saying, like just trust the process and just wait and let go of the wheel. Like that was the hardest thing for me because if somebody was going to mess up my life, it was going to be me. Like
Yeah.
I didn't want to trust anybody else. But the second that I finally let go of that wheel and just trusted in the process and my higher power and believed in that kind of stuff, that's when everything just starts falling into place. And that's when
Mhm.
all of the good things just keep coming. And for the longest time with those good things, I had such reservations because I didn't feel A, like I deserved good things, or B, like they were actual good things coming my way. Like I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop
Mm.
because that's how I felt like my life had always been. I didn't see any of the other positives that I'd always had, which is a struggle for me today cuz like looking back, there's so many instances where I had people there for me and I did have people that cared about me and loved me, but I chose not to see that because I was too wrapped up in my own stuff. But like I just didn't think that I deserved good things, but
Mhm.
once I like let go of that and just trusted in the process, everything just falls into place the way it's supposed to. And it's such a less stressful and a more beautiful experience that like I can't even put it into words.
Yeah, and it's hard, you know, especially with those cliches that everybody has and
Yes.
saying, "Trust the process," you know, all the things, you know, all the
Just
things,
for
"Just one
today.
day at a time," and whatever that, and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up. Do you
Everything
know what I'm
happens
going
for a
through?"
reason.
Until you start saying them yourself and you're like, God, where did that come from? Like, I remember
Like,
the first time I said it to somebody, I was like, did that come out of me? Like, what?
who the fuck is
Um,
this?"
right? Like, maybe it's real. Like, I don't even know. God. And now, like, I know, like, I say it much more often now, and especially with my job, like, I have those guys that come in that don't believe it. And then being a sponsor on top of that, like, nobody told me being a sponsor was so much, but like I want to take my sponsees and shake them,
Shake the shit out of 'em.
but that's because like of how much of me I see in them, and that's where my frustrations come because like half the time it's like looking in a mirror and I know what's on the other side, and if it's me, I just want to like hit me and be like stop being so stupid, but I can't do that with them because they're not me, they're their own persons, but I see so much of me in them that it's so frustrating because if I knew then what I know now, things would be so much different for me. But I also can't dwell on that because like everything happens for a reason, right? And I am
Mhm.
so grateful for every single experience. I could sit here and woe is me and like poor me for all of the negative things that happened. But like today, through working steps and like learning about myself, I wouldn't be who I am today without every single one of those experiences, good, bad, or indifferent. And like I love myself today. And that is such a hard thing for me to say. I've never been able to say that until coming into recovery. And that's like the thing I'm most grateful for with the rooms is like genuinely loving myself today. And I couldn't have that without everybody else loving me first.
Mm. I love it, man. Love it. Well, let me see what's up to some people. We got Matt says, thank you, Josh, for always being so raw and honest. You're an amazing friend and so glad to have you in my life and my children as well.
Love you, Maddie.
And then we got your ride or die. And thank you, Josh, for telling your story and being such an intricate part of mine.
Oh, I love my sis.
And then Rachel says, literally one of the best humans I've ever known.
She would know. She's one of the best ones too.
And then we had, yeah, she goes, I am, you are, we are. Right. Sky says, go, Josh. We love all three of you. Are you talking about him,
Sky.
his personalities, or us
Yep.
too?
All three of me.
All right. Hey, Josh, man, we appreciate you so much. We're so grateful to have you in our fellowship, in our lives, in our community. Definitely is a bright light to this area. So thank you so much for coming on tonight and sharing your story.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's an honor. Like I said, my dream has come true. I've told my story on the Hope Shot. Like I just feel super blessed.
All right. Now you're just gonna come on as special guest to share a little bit of topics here and there, right, Christina? You rope people in, rope them.
Yep.
Hey, anytime you need me, I'm there for you.
I appreciate you. And anybody else wants, if you guys want to share your story here on the Hope Shot, man, hit us up, hit Christina up, hit me up, hit somebody up, hit Josh up. Who cares?
I got numbers.
Yeah, hit us up, man. Let us know, and we'll put you on, and you share your story, man. Because everybody has a story, and if you ain't sharing it, then you're being selfish still. See what I'm saying? Know what I mean?
Know what you mean?
Know what I mean? All right, y'all, man. I hope you guys have a great week. And take a little bit, man, and be of service like Josh is this week to somebody. Somebody out there needs help, needs somebody, even if it's just a listening ear, and be of service, man. That's what you can do this week. I think that's the message I got from Josh's story today. So love y'all.
Thanks, Justin. Love you too, bud.
See ya.